Hello everybody, this is our first class or the first video on the chapter Matrices, and this is our chapter number 3 as per our NCERT. So before we go into the depth of this chapter, what is the matrix and what is the need of the matrix, suppose what is this? This is a linear equation, and in this linear equations only one variable is involved. Okay, so what is the value of this variable? You are very much able to find out the value in such cases. This time the value of this variable is -5. Now we consider the another linear equations, and this time it is also another example of the linear equation, and this linear equation is also involve the two variables x and y, and these x plus y is equal to 10. And what is the value for this x and y? This time it is unsolvable, because this time these linear equation contain the two unknown variables. To find out the value of these two variables, we need the minimum two linear equations. That means suppose we consider these two, that means the pair of linear equation, then we can solve or find out the particular value of this two variable. That means to solve any pair of linear equations, we need the minimum two linear equations. Suppose if you consider this is also the linear equation, but this time this linear equation is involved the three unknown variables, and to find out the value for each and every variable, we need the minimum the three linear equations. Similarly, when any linear equations contain the n number of variables, we need to find out each and every variable of this system, that of this linear equation. We need the n number of linear equation to solve each and every variable. So this is, and in our class 10 we already know how to solve this pair of linear equation, and this time we also use some method. The first one is the graphical method, and also some algebraic method, that is the substitution method, cross multiplication method. Okay, so this time if you have this type of linear equation, three linear equation, and this time you consider all these three, you can easily find out each and every value for each and every variable using this graphical method or the substitution method, cross multiplication method. Okay, but sometimes it is very tedious when the number of variables is 4, 5, then we need to solve 5 linear equation. 6, for the 6th variable need the 6 linear equation. So this is also a very big process, and the time taking and the tedious. Okay, to overcome this problem, we will introduce a new method, that is called the matrix. That is the need of this matrix. Using this matrix method, you can easily find out the n number of variables, the any linear equation with the help of this matrix method. So this is the definition of the matrix. A matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions. So if you consider the definition of this matrix, so that means how to represent a matrix. Suppose we have some value 2, 4, 6, 9, and if you combine all these values within this third bracket or first bracket, that is the rectangular array representation of matrix, because array means that it is also a linear storage, and this array means array which always contain the same type of element. And if you consider this matrix, each and every value is a number, and these two are the most famous representations or notations to represent our matrix. The first one, that each and every element of a matrix is within a third bracket or a first bracket. Okay? And this time, each and every value within the bracket is called the element of the matrix. Okay? So, if you consider this matrix, if you consider this horizontal line, there is the two horizontal line, and if you consider the vertical lines, as per this vertical line, there is also the two elements. So, if you consider the first horizontal line, with respect to this horizontal line, we find out the two values, that is the 2 and 4, and second horizontal line, the 6 and 9. And if you consider the first vertical line, that means is the 2, 6, and second one, the 4, 9. So always remember, the matrix is nothing but the combination of the row and the column, and all the horizontal value, according to this horizontal value, this is our first row and this is our second row, and as for this vertical value, this is our first column, and this one is the second. Okay, so as for any matrix, if you consider all the value along this horizontal line horizontally, then this is called the first row, row 1, and this is the representations, and this one is the row 2, and if you consider the vertical value, that means it is the first column and this is our second column. Okay, so if you consider this matrix contains the total number of row is 2 and the total number of column is 2. So that means the order of matrix, this particular matrix, any matrix is represented is any capital letters. Suppose this is the A matrix and the order of A matrix is equal to 2 into 2. this is the representation, the order of any matrix. That means these two is the total number of row cross these two the total number of column in a given matrix. So suppose this is the general notation. This is the general notation of order of a matrix. Okay? This time A is a matrix and the order of this matrix m cross n, and this m, this is the general notation, and this m is the represent the total number of rows, and this n is represent the total number of columns. Okay, so this is the general representations of any matrix. Suppose if you consider the another matrix B, and this B matrix contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And this time, this matrix, the total number of row, this is our row 1 and number 2, but this is our column number 1, column number 2, and the column number 3. So, what is the order of this matrix? This of B matrix, the order of this B matrix is the total number of row into total number of column. 2 cross 3 matrix. Okay? And when the total number of row and the total number of column is given, and basis of this total number of order of any matrix, we can easily find out the total number of element is present in this matrix. So the total number of element of any matrix of order 3 cos 2 is equal to. So, how to determine the total number of element of any matrix when order is given? So, what is the order of this given matrix? Is 3 cross 2. So, that means the total number of element of this matrix is, what is the value for the 3 cross 2 is the 6. Suppose the order of any matrix is 3 cross 3. So that means the total number of element is 9. This is the basic introduction part of this matrix. Thank you everybody.